Welcome to a special episode of Dad's Rules with Kevin Belzer. And as you can see, I am on location. I'm standing in a home that one of my clients just put under contract. And while I was here, a topic hit me that I wanted to cover with everybody because, wow, this home really brought a lot of things to mind about something that, as a dad's rule, I think is important to share with everybody here. So, this home we just put under contract. And when we put under contract, as you can see now, we do have power running to it, but there was no power onto the property. And there was a lot of things that were not disclosed to us by the owners of this property. I got the seller disclosure statement today. That's something that a seller has to provide to the new buyer when they write on a home in the state of Arizona. And it will be basically it is a history report of everything you know about the property since the time that you owned it. And this report came back with everything checked no, including, is the property connected to sewer? It was checked no. And then it said on the next page, how is the waste handled? And it was checked sewer. So that is why you always order a home inspection. So for anybody out there, not really dad's rules, but this is just a generally good rule in general. Generally a good rule in general. Yeah, good sentence structure there. I'm sure my English teacher is, God, I hope they're not spinning in their grave. I haven't been out of high school that long. But they're probably shaking their head, wondering how I structure a sentence such as that one. Anyway, I digress. When you buy a property, you get a seller disclosure report from the seller that is going to go over the history of the property, everything they know about it. They are supposed to be accurate. They're supposed to be honest with you, not hide anything. Well, this one, as I said, they checked no to every possible box on the whole report. That's not very accurate, because some of those questions would definitely be yes. Is there mail service to the property or around the property? The answer is yes. Does the property have power, gas, water, any of that stuff? It's going to be yes to some of those questions. They can't be all no. So I advise all my clients to get what I call a home inspection. We have done some of this stuff already. We've had some weird stuff come up that we found just from the inspection that we did prior to the power coming on today. We can tell that the roof leaks. This was not disclosed on the report. The roof is 25 years old. In the state of Arizona, that on a tile roof, that's a pretty darn old roof. And that no work was ever done with it, which doesn't make sense since there's solar panels up there. There's always going to be a roof inspection before solar panels are put onto a roof, especially since I know the company that did put these on, they would have done an inspection at that time. There's nothing acknowledging that one way or another. Let's see what else, just so many weird things. So let me walk you down this hallway here. Up there, not sure how the camera will cover it, but there is fresh paint up there that is covering a water stain. The inspector caught that, and then there was more evidence above the door up here. There was more paint. I know it's hard to tell in that, but there was more evidence in there that there was stuff covered up. And then you just walk around this property, and now that we have power on, I'm seeing even more stuff. And I've already texted the client and let him know that, yeah, there's things that just don't work, that there's no freaking way that they didn't know that these things were broken. So what is today's topic? Today's topic has to do with what I believe we owe each other, and that is honesty. In fact, if you are a realtor, you are required to give honest representation to all parties in the transaction. I'm not saying that the other agent is aware of this, but just based on some of the back and forth that's been going on, I'm questioning whether they do know or not. I'm like, there's deniability on their part, but it's just frustrating because here my client wrote in good faith on this property, and you're seeing that people just aren't being very honest. Which I gotta ask you, why? What's the matter? Because look, we're gonna catch it. We're gonna do a home inspection on the property. We're gonna catch if there are defects in the property, because we've already had a roofer that is, let's see, the roofer comes out tomorrow, but we know from the general inspection that there are roof issues because we see water stains and leaks in the attic, because the general inspector's already gone up there. So a general inspector, what they're going to do, they're going to look at the property all the way from the foundation up through the attic. They're also going to inspect the ground, see if they see anything weird. So one thing he did see out there that was a little weird was the root system growing across the lawn. Now that the weeds have all been cut away, that the yard was covered in weeds the day we rode on it as well. Now that that's all cut away, we can see the whole root system there, and there's a sewer line that runs right through the same area. So we have a sewer scope inspection that has already happened today. We do not have the report back on that, but we know that that has already been taken care of, and we're anxiously waiting to see what that is. We have, we have an AC guy that's already given us a quote on the new AC, because just looking at it from what we saw in the attic, as well as the unit being on the roof, so other issues with that. So what point am I bringing across here is that there's no reason for them not to be honest with us. You're going to get caught. And this goes to any job you are in out there. No matter what you do, if you're not honest with people, eventually you're going to get caught. And you're going to have to ask yourself, was it really worth it? And the answer, hopefully, is going to be no. Some people that thought that they could be dishonest in history, like your Bernie Madoffs, learned once they died in prison that, yeah, it wasn't really worth it. Ponzi, same thing, wasn't really worth it. In the end, it's never really worth it. Those few extra bucks in your pocket, not worth the grief, not worth the anxiety. I've told clients in the past that, or clients that I didn't hire, that wanted me to be dishonest in a transaction, that I'm not losing my license over a couple $1,000s. It's just not worth it. And again, since I live my life by the dad's rules, it would violate my rules. We owe people honesty. We owe people kindness. We owe them a lot. And if you give that to others, hopefully they'll be reciprocating it back to you. People always say that we would love to have the world be better. Well, it starts with the power of one. It starts with you doing the things like I suggest on Dad's Rules. Be honest, be kind, don't be an asshole, don't be a dumbass. All these rules all tie together to where if you're doing it, other people can reciprocate as well. And instead of one person following Dad's Rules, we have 2 people, then 4 people, then 8 people, then 16, and on and on and on. It's the beauty of Dad's Rules. That's it for today. If you enjoyed the show, like, share, comment, leave feedback. Always would love to see your guys' feedback on what I'm doing on the show. I know that I originally promised that I would have Melissa on this week's episode, and our scheduling just did not work out. Hopefully, we'll be able to sit down. I forgot that we had Easter weekend. We had everything going on with that, so we didn't get together over the weekend and, do a ton of episodes and stockpile them like we used to. So until next time, go out and be the kick-ass adult that I know you all can be.